Someone was going to get left out. I know, so I'm in I've gone to my far left now.
I think just with the clocks changing, traffic just seems to have slowed down. Maybe it's just rush hour traffic, but I don't think Britons do not know how to drive in poor weather conditions, and it seems at night time now. It took me what should be a 15-minute journey, half an hour to get home tonight, and it was just a build-up of traffic, and I just don't think anyone knows how to react, which is strange because it happens every 6 months.
I mean, yeah, why is it that like suddenly it gets dark and everyone panics on the roads?
Because winter's rubbish and everyone hates it. That's why. That's why everyone just slows down, because everyone's just like, oh, it's winter. I'm cold and tired and hungry, so they drive slow.
Yeah, but if you're tired, you want to get home faster.
True that, yeah. True.
So I just don't understand why it just seems like a build-up, and in the past few weeks near my work there's been about 4 or 5 crashes, and maybe it is just because people just don't know how to react.
I mean, is it a case of when we're actually learning to drive, should we be, you know, kind of something where we deal across the whole year? You know, you have a little bit of summer learning, you have winter learning, you know, you learn to drive across all different conditions.
Yeah.
That's interesting, mate. That's an interesting idea.
But some people like to...
one winter lesson or something.
Yeah, some people like to pass, like, straight away. They don't want to dilly-dally all the time, do they? So if you're learning in winter, you'll learn in the winter conditions, but if you go for summer, it's... Well, I would say it's got to be winter conditions anyway, because it's summer.
I mean, it took me, it took me 3 goes to pass my test, which the first one didn't count. I got 1 minor. How can you fail me with 1 minor? I mean, admittedly, the 2 majors probably had something to do with it. One of them was not my fault. I didn't realise it was a 2-lane roundabout.
I got 8 majors.
8 majors?
On the first one.
That's a point where we need to take you off the road, I think.
Yeah, but I've learned since then. Another 8 years to get off. I'm fine now.
I mean, but is it like driving slow at winter? Surely that's a sensible move. I mean, you know, slippery conditions.
I don't drive, so I'm going to walk.
In snow, yeah, it's good to drive slow, but...
In the dark, we do have lights.
We do. And they work perfectly.
I mean, you don't. Do you drive?
No, I don't, but it is a shock. Clocks changing, especially the going back is a shock, because, you know, I can understand why people get a bit concerned about it, but we know it happens every year, so, you know, I think young people cope, they drive at night time, don't they? So I don't understand why people find such a problem. Even though it is a shock on that day, it's like, oh my god, it's 4:30 and it's dark, you know. And there was a funny YouTube video I saw when the American clock went back last weekend. Someone's made this like short 3-minute film, and it's a film about the clocks going back, and it's like, oh my god, someone's stolen an hour, and they turn up at work and no one's there. You know, and it's like, it's quite funny. Because it is a big deal for a lot of people. It is. This hour thing is a big deal, you know. But I'm surprised that what you're saying, you know, about people crashing and really having problems driving. It's like, well, should you be driving? If you know, what happens if you leave work 2 hours later and it's dark? You can't cope with that. That's not good for it.
No, definitely not.
I think people might need to take some more lessons.
There's an argument to be said for that we shouldn't actually have the clocks going back at all. I mean, it's because it's
more to do with Scotland, because it's super dark there in the morning.
It is, yeah, and sort of Scottish farmers.
Yeah.
I mean, it was introduced after World War II to sort of help deal with issues around, I think it was rationing actually, but farmers have obviously kind of taken it over as their kind of thing. Everyone has to have a thing, they've got that. But there's a lot of arguments that we'd actually save an awful lot on electricity if we just left savings time as they were. I mean, where do you stand on the clocks going back, really? Something that you would like to see? I mean, we've just had the good one, obviously.
Yeah. I've never understood why they do it. I mean, I understood why we did it originally, and I understand why they do it now, because I find it really confusing, because some of my clocks are automatic, some of them aren't automatic. I set clocks ahead of time anyway, so I'm not late, unlike I was tonight, but as a cab driver, you know. So I get confused because there's that 10 minutes, like, what is the actual time? Which clocks have changed? Did my phone change to the right one? And is it not the right one? And you end up phoning the speaking clock to find out what the time actually is, and it is a shock. It is getting dark so early, but it's taken me a while to get used to the autumn anyway. It's like I wake up and it's dark. I'm like, yeah, I can't get out. It's not 7 o'clock.
I mean, would you guys miss the extra hour in bed?
Yeah, but you wouldn't lose the hour, would you?
I do like it though. It is that like, oh, an extra hour. You know what I mean? It is like, it's just so good. Even if you don't like wake up to then go, oh no, it's actually, you know, and then even though if you sleep through it, you still feel like it's like the most refreshing day of the year, kind of, because you've had the wickedest sleep, and then you just wake up. It's like, yeah, awesome. I mean, I enjoy that aspect of it. But apart from that, the rest of it sucks.
Yeah, to be fair, the past few years I've been out when it had gone back, so you're just out in the club for
A party for another hour.
another hour. But this year it's like that. No, I'm gonna go to sleep early and get that extra hour.
One year I had to attend training on a Sunday morning at 8 o'clock. Police station, and it was the Sunday the clocks went forward.
Oh, that's the other side of the blade.
It was really harsh.
Well, I think
7 o'clock, you know.
not on a Sunday. Well, I think for the purposes of driving, I think for the extra hour in bed, Chris, it's just going to have to be something you put up with, unfortunately.
Yeah, I don't mind.
Join us again after the break, where